Join us for an interesting talk with Evan St. Amand, a 21-year-old who has gone through some health issues that you will not believe, and the attitude and experience and wisdom he has to share as a 21-year-old will blow you away. Let's hear Evan's story.
The Elven Star Podcast. And now, your host, Kevin Ferry.
Hi, I'm Kevin Ferry. This is the Elven Star Podcast. Today, we have an awesome young man, Evan St. Amand, whose father has already been a guest, and his sister, and his dad, I think's episode is leading the way with the most views, but this one's going to crush it because Evan's a cool young guy, and he's got a lot of cool things to talk about. Evan, welcome to the Elven Star Podcast.
Thank you, my friend. I appreciate it. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, so let's just tell everyone out there a little bit about you. How old are you now?
I am 21 years old.
21. OMG. Dang.
Yeah.
Time is flying.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
All right, so where did you grow up?
I grew up in West Hartford, Connecticut.
And did you go to school there?
I did, yeah. Elementary through high school, yeah.
And what high school did you go to?
I went to Hall High School.
All right. What year did you graduate?
2023.
Nice. All right, so Evan's got some cool interest. One of them involves a game I've never heard of, and these cool characters that I think these are hand-painted
Yeah.
by you.
Yeah. I painted all of them.
I'm putting them right here so maybe we can get them in focus with the camera. I'm not trying to get my face in the shot really, but we'll see what happens. But tell us about these. What exactly are these and what's it all about?
Yeah, for sure. So those are from a game called Warhammer. There is Warhammer 40,000, which is the sci-fi version, and then you have Age of Sigmar, which is the fantasy version. And basically what it is think kind of like a model airplane kit, something like that. You cut out the pieces, you glue them together, you prime them, you paint them, and then you play a game that goes with them.
Awesome.
Yeah, so it's really cool.
So you make your own art to build the pieces that become the game board pieces.
Exactly, yeah.
How many players in this game?
It's two people that play, so it's a one-on-one format, and it's usually done in like certain points. So it's like, oh, I'm gonna bring a 2,000 point list or a 1,000 point list. Every unit has a certain point value, and you take it from there.
So wait a minute. So you're a young person who's actually not playing video games?
I still play video games.
You still play video games.
Yeah.
All right. But you actually have a game that's played with real humans sitting in a room next to you.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Are there a lot of people that are into this?
I'd say so, yeah. Yeah, there's a good population of people that are definitely into it.
Okay. Was there a club in the high school maybe that had this going on or what?
No, so funnily enough, I got into it when there was a Warhammer store that opened up in West Hartford Center, and it was called Games Workshop at the time, and we kept passing it. I was about probably 10 years old at the time, and I kept bugging my mom, like, "Can we go in? Can we go in? Because I thought this was a video game store. Can we keep going? Can we go in?" And so she finally is like, "Fine, we'll go in." And we go in, and it's literally model kits wall to wall, and I'm like, "Whoa, this is not this is not video games at all." And then the manager talks to us, and I got into it as a kid. I dropped it for a little while. I fell out of it, and then I got back into it probably after I graduated. I got back into it in full force, and now I have 4 fully painted armies.
Okay. So how many characters or people, whatever they're called, what are they called?
It depends. You just call models, yeah.
Okay. So how many models in an army?
It depends on the army and how you build the army, because sometimes you can build, like, a really hordy army where it's, like, you have a crap ton of little guys, or you can make a very, like, heavy infantry, big guy kinda army, so you have options. Um, I'd say usually the I'd say, like, the average is about, like, 40-ish, but it can alternate depending on how you build and how many points you have.
Wild.
Yeah.
So each character or model has specific, functions or duties or things that it can do within the game?
Exactly, yeah.
Sounds pretty cool.
Yeah, that's really cool.
So how old were you when you got into this?
10 years old, so on and off now for 11 years.
Nice,
Yeah.
nice. And are there people your age that are still playing this game?
I haven't met a lot of people my age playing it. It's a lot of people who are, like, in their 30s.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah, a lot of people in their 30s and, also some, like, in their 40s. Not a lot of people my age, and if it is, then it's my age or maybe a little bit younger. It depends because 'cause you're dealing with a lot of, like, fine motor stuff, you know?
Far out,
Yeah,
far out. Well, I'm not surprised that you're, no, cutting edge and you're, ahead of the curve.
I try, you know?
Very nice, very nice. Hey, the other thing that I wanted to just point out as a young person, um, one of the things that we're trying to do on this podcast is like connect people to community members and have people in their communities understand that there are really interesting, knowledgeable people right next door that might have fun things to share or important information, whatever the case may be. And as a lawyer, I learned a ton from a young associate that I had here for a few years. It was amazing how much I learned. So I think one of the ways to learn about young people for those older folk out there is ask them a lot of questions about their music, their videos, their games. What are they into? So we just talked about this cool thing, but tell me what's on your water bottle in terms of the art, because maybe there's something behind there that we can learn about you and about people in your generation.
Yeah, oh my gosh, I have a ton. I have a Metallica sticker. Metallica is one of my favorite metal
Why don't you
bands.
hold it up and show it and put it sort of near your
Yeah,
face?
yeah.
Yeah.
So, Metallica is one of my favorite metal bands. They've helped me through some difficult stuff, and I got to see them 2 years ago, in Foxborough, which was awesome.
Sweet.
I have an Obey sticker. Obey is I think it started as a skateboarding brand, and then it became, streetwear, uh, and it's really cool. I have
Who's the guy on the
oh,
Obey sticker?
it says Andre the Giant.
Ooh, WWF guy?
Yeah. I have a little "This is fine" sticker with a dog sitting with a fire behind him because, we kinda live in some crummy times and, you gotta just be happy, this is fine.
Right.
More Metallica, there's Metallica here. Um, this is a Hole in the Wall Gang Camp sticker when they had a young adult conference. Hole in the Wall Gang Camp is a, summer camp founded by Paul Newman, for kids with, critical illnesses, and basically they get to experience a normal run-of-the-mill summer camp. Um and I went there for 4 years. And then this one I got when I was working at a country club. Oh, and then a big American flag because America. And yeah, that's everything.
'Cause America coming up on 250 years.
Exactly, there you go.
We're a young little country, struggling a bit now, but, So, since we're talking America,
Hmm.
let's hear your Donald Trump impression.
Oh god. Okay. For those who don't know, I met Kevin through my dad, and we used to we used to have, like, these really deep philosophical conversations, and then we would get, like just be like, "Do your Donald Trump voice." So here it is. My name is Donald Trump, and let me tell you one thing. I love nothing more than Kevin. Oh, he's great. My favorite lawyer. As a matter of fact, Kevin, I'm gonna hire you for when they sue me and get me out of office. Let me tell you. We're gonna build a wall around fairy law as well, so nobody gets in, because you're that special, Kevin.
Oh, that was so fun. So, yeah, we had some good times, doing that kinda stuff
Oh, yeah.
and going deep with our stuff. So,
Yeah.
thank you for doing that.
Of
I
course.
warned you ahead of time that I was gonna ask you to do that,
Oh,
so,
yeah.
yeah.
And I learned a lot from you when we had our talks. I
Well,
think the thing of the biggest impact was, the human language has more "I's" than "we's." It was something like that, and I that stuck with me. where it's like we use I on a more regular basis than
Yeah.
we, and there's an impact to it. And I was like, huh,
Yeah, I've talked about language a lot, and I've talked about
yeah,
how we have sort of a dead language. We have more nouns than verbs,
yeah,
so there's
yeah,
not as much life in it. Like the Native American culture, everything in their language had like movement or life.
hmm,
And the other thing we always talk about a lot was that words cast spells,
mm-hmm,
right? That's why they
yep,
call it spelling. And we just came up with one outside. We said that the word politics, poly meaning many, and ticks meaning those things that are giving us all disease. So that's essentially what politics is. That's how we're
yeah,
seeing it, right?
yeah, totally, yeah, yeah. I
Cool.
swear, lets out the worst in people.
Oh, man.
Oh, jeez.
So we'll stay away from it right now because we
Yeah.
don't want to lose all the viewership because people aren't really able to talk
Oh, yeah,
right
yeah.
now. Someday, hopefully, that'll happen. We can like share our true feelings, which would be nice.
That would be great. Yeah.
Yeah. But you mentioned Hole in the Wall Gang, and you had gone there for 4 years.
Yeah.
So tell us what that's all about and what you're dealing with where you were part of that experience.
Yeah, for sure. So I was born with mitochondrial disease. It is a disease that affects the mitochondria in your cells, and they cannot produce the energy that is required for your body to not sustain, but to do physical stuff. So it can be as minor as, thankfully with me, I get very tired in hot weather. I can't really do any physical activity without getting really tired. And my gut is kind of in the trash chute. But it can be as bad as like people's entire body shutting down slowly but surely. I have intestinal pseudo-obstruction, which is when your intestines act like there's obstruction, but there's nothing. Gastroparesis, um, those are the big ones, but, it all really came in when I was 3 going on 4, and, I mean, bless my parents, man, they went to 5 different children's hospitals across 3 different states to really to get the care that I needed. Because a lot of people were like, "Oh, he looks perfectly fine," to be in, to have pseudo obstruction or whatever, and so we eventually, thank God, I think my mom sent a fax, like a picture to a gastroenterologist in, up at Tufts Floating, and yeah, she's still my gastroenterologist to this day, and basically was like, "Please help my son," and that was a desperate plea, and his assistant saw it and was like, "You need to come up now. He needs emergency surgery." Because my stomach was huge. I literally looked like I was pregnant. Like, as a kid, I my stomach was all the way it was out here because it was just filled with air. So, I have because of that, I have a, central line, a G-tube, and an ileostomy bag. So the central line is because I can't eat any kind of solid food just because my stomach is pretty much shut down. So I do something called TPN, which stands for Total Parental Nutrition, which isn't really accurate. It is 12 hours overnight, and it is a 4-course meal. So it has vitamins, minerals, um, everything that you would want in an ideal diet is inside of it. I on top of that, I get about 2.5 hours of it's just straight up sailing just to keep me from crashing and burning. Um, and I mean, that's really the big stuff, but basically how a line works is that it's right on my chest is a tube that goes to a vein that's super close to my heart, and then whatever you push in just gets spread throughout the body. Um, G-tube is used for because I can't eat anything, it's like to crush up, like, ibuprofen, any kind of, like, stuff you would usually like, any kind of pill that you would take, in your mouth, gets crushed up, turned into a liquid, pushed in through there. Or if I'm having cramping, you can put in an extension and you can vent stuff out, and just put it, like, in a baggie. And then my ostomy is how I let out my air and my gas. Is just to prevent stuff from staying in there. So,
So, yeah,
yeah.
wow. No kidding, right? So, you are a super rare human being in many ways, not just because of that, but just because of who you are. Like you talked about this as a mitochondrial disease.
Yeah.
And mitochondria, if you didn't know this, and if we haven't had this talk yet,
Mm.
mitochondria, as the powerhouse of the cells, burns brighter than the sun per surface area by a factor of 10,000.
Yeah, it's
You're
crazy stuff.
you're that bright even though your mitochondria is not working.
I try. I try. Even though it's not working great, I try.
Yeah, so somehow you're developing your own light, and, I find that's amazing, and it's one of the reasons why I wanted to have you on this podcast.
Thank you, my friend. I
Yeah, you're
appreciate
very
it.
welcome, it's awesome. Alright, so obviously a lot of challenges with that, a lot of, like, absolutely, like, time sensitive stuff that has to happen, right? It's gotta be a
Mm.
very rigid routine and stuff. So, travel, I guess, is probably challenging because all that has to be packed and planning
It
ahead and
has to be refrigerated as well. TPN has to be refrigerated. So usually how it works, and this is where like I had a Make-A-Wish back in 2011, and it was to go to SeaWorld. And it was the first time we were able to get on a plane and fly down to Florida. And it was great because basically it showed us that I could do that. And so since then I've been down to Florida a couple times. I've been to California, and it's definitely taxing, but it's doable because basically what it is you have to put it all in a cooler, like a cooler bag, cooler suitcase. TSA takes their sweet time checking it, and, I mean, it's just a little extra, but it's manageable.
right, right. But with the issue of, like, getting really tired and stuff, like trying to run on a cross country team or
Oh, yeah, no.
none
No, no.
none of that stuff is possible for you.
No, 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 no.
Um, you did start playing a little golf.
I did, yeah. I was very lucky because both of my grandpas, golfed, and so I kinda got the love from them. I used to go putting with my grandpa up at, Tumblebrook in Bloomfield, and that kinda gave me a taste, and then I got into it, I think, a little after COVID, and then I thought to myself, I can't do, like, football or any other traditional sports. I was like, I'll give golf a go." And so, basically, it was just a spur of the moment thing. I was like, "Let me ask my counselor, is this possible? Is this a thing that we can do?" And she was like, "I'm gonna get a hold of the coaches, and I'll let you know." And I think about, like, springtime, I got a message from the class I was in just saying, "Go down to counseling," and I'm like, "Okay." And she was like, "You're in." Like, we talked to them and, "You're good to go." And then I had a call with the head coach basically just explaining everything, and I became the manager of the team that season, which was really cool. I actually ended up winning an award from the CIAC, which is kind of the governing body of high school sports in Connecticut, called the Michael H. Savage Spirit of Sport Award.
Sweet.
Yeah, so that was really cool, and, I have a plaque in my room now
Whoa.
commemorating.
We
Yeah.
gotta get a picture of that so we can put it up on the
Oh,
podcast.
totally will. Yeah, I'll
Yeah,
totally send that.
that's awesome. So that was the golf team
At Hall.
at
Yeah.
Hall.
Yeah, yeah.
Good players too, right?
Yeah, I mean, we didn't do fantastic, but we had some good players for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, no, it's
Are you still banging the ball a little bit? Are you still playing?
Yeah, I not as much as I used to, but the last time I played with some friends over at Rockledge in West Hartford. I I don't know how, but I managed to swing it really good. I don't know how, but
Alright.
I did. So,
That's good. Well,
yeah.
what happens with golf is when you're completely relaxed and you haven't practiced a lot and you just go out there for fun, you play great.
Oh, yeah.
And then once you're like, "Oh,
Exactly.
I played so great, I can't wait to go out the next time." The next time, because now you're thinking
Yeah, you hit like shite is what
exactly. Then it's just shank central. That's
Oh
what
my
happens
god.
happens to me every my first round of the year usually is awesome,
Yeah.
and then it's downhill
Mhm.
until I don't play for the summer because I'm like, "Okay, that enough of that." Whatever. It's a
Yeah.
crazy game.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Alright, so, you have some pets at home.
I do, yeah.
What do you have?
I have a dog named Lucy. She is my pride and joy and my fur baby, and, we've had her, oh gosh, how long has it been now? It's been over 10 years, I think we've had her.
Lucy's somewhat of a celebrity
In my heart,
animal.
at least,
Well, no,
yeah.
I mean, come on, let's be real.
Mm.
Give the audience a flavor of Lucy's life. Like, where does she sit? What type of accoutrements does she have in her life?
Yeah, so she has about 4 different spots that she likes to relax. Either A, in the salon, greeting, the clients that come, Uh, Either there, we have a little, like, lounging sofa that my dad found at Marshall's.
A
Um,
dog lounging
you
sofa.
literally a dog lounging
Yeah,
sofa.
like, looks like something a movie star might, like, hang out on, right?
Exactly,
Yeah, okay.
yeah. Another little sofa in, the living room is where she'll also lay down. She has this, she'll jump up on we have a blue couch in the living room where she'll hang out where there's sun that comes in, she'll sunbathe a little bit. Or there's, in the entranceway, we have a pink and black chair, I think, that she'll sit down on sometimes.
And how big is Lucy?
Oh gosh, I think maybe about this maybe about like this-ish big? Yeah.
Like, in the old days, they would say, like, the size of a bread basket.
Yeah.
Whatever
Yeah.
a bread ba nobody even knows what a bread
No, I don't
basket
even know
is
what that
anymore.
yeah.
Nobody does, but, yeah, about the size of so, does she wear any jewelry? Something in my mind tells me I've seen her with, like, diamonds or some sort of
Yes,
stuff
she
on.
wears a very bejeweled collar, yeah. It's it's this like, pink pleather with these, like, fake diamonds along the sides and, along the back, and then she has, a little bejeweled tag with her name on it, and it's great.
Yeah,
It's
she's
wonderful
pretty
stuff,
awesome.
yeah.
Alright, and then I also understand that your other pet recently passed away.
Yeah, yeah, he was great. His name was Shadow. He was a guinea pig that my sister was working at the, Pet Supplies Plus in West Hartford, and this guy was getting mauled by the guinea pig that he was in the cage with. So my sister was like, I'm gonna go rescue him. I'm gonna bring him to the house. And it was like, oh, don't worry. Cause, at this point she had like, I think 2 cats. And so, oh, it's gonna be temporary. Don't worry. It's not gonna last forever. X amount of 8+ years later, he was still with us, but he was a fun little guy. And yeah, and oh my God, he loved lettuce. He would chow on that.
And he's been, given a ceremony and a proper burial, I take it?
Yep, yep. Except, if you ask my dad, he was gonna put peach trees around around where he was buried, and, the squirrels dug it up and, ate all of the peach seeds, which I think is desecrating of a grave, but, somebody needs to get hold of that squirrel.
There should be a law.
There's yes, there should be, yeah, 100%.
That's awesome. Um, you play a little music too, right?
I do, yeah.
What's your instrument?
I play guitar. Yeah, I've been doing that for about over 5 years now, and I write my own stuff. I have enough to make an EP.
You do?
I do, yeah.
Alright.
Yeah,
We
that's
just need a studio. Maybe we have to turn the Elven Stars podcast studio into a little music studio for you.
maybe, yeah.
Lay down some tracks.
That'd be great, yeah, that'd be
Yeah.
killer.
Alright, so I wanna ask you a question.
Mm,
Since I think you're a very astute young man, right? We've had some pretty deep talks and
mm,
stuff. Um, what do you see on the plus and minus side, okay, so both
mhm.
sides, with people of your generation?
Oh gosh. I would say the plus is I find people my age very much are set on what they wanna do. They very much are independent, they don't wanna work for anyone, they're like, "I have a set vision in mind, I'm gonna go do that vision, and so help me God if anyone gets in my way." I would say the cons is they can be very impulsive and, everyone says this, but the attention span is in the toilet. And, doom scrolling is a guilty pleasure of everybody, myself included. So I'm not trying to claim a holier than thou perspective, but that's what I've seen at least.
Yeah, because I asked this similar question to a Zen master.
Mm,
He's like a 7th degree black belt in Aikido. He runs a Buddhist temple as the chief guy, the master of the temple, and he said essentially the same thing. Matter of fact, unfortunately, he said he thinks it's a real problem because he also teaches college age kids,
mm.
and he's like, the attention span just isn't there. I mean, he says they're unable to focus their mind on one thing.
Yeah, no, totally. I find and I think that leads to some of that impulsivity, right? Where it's like it's a mixture of, I have such a short attention span, I need to keep doing crazy stuff to, keep my adrenaline going. Oh, this is theory.
All right, so, I mean, couple suggestions out there for the young people. First of all, we love the young people.
Of course, yeah.
As I said before, I learned a lot from a young associate in my law firm. Play games where you actually get together, turn
Mhm.
off the screen, that'd be helpful, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Use your creativity, talk to people face to face. Join a band.
Mm.
Join a band, start a band.
Yeah. No, music is I find music, like, I think, and you would agree with this, brings people together on such an insane degree. Whether it be, chanting by a campfire or playing in a band with super loud music, right? Everyone can relate to or associate with music in one way or another. And in my opinion, it is the most powerful form of media that can be produced by people.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. As a bhakti yogi, or maybe I'm not, who knows? But as a bhakti yoga practitioner, that's what we do. We sit down and we chant call and response with the kirtan, which is the name of the band that's singing these ancient mantras that are just full of all kinds of juiciness with love and compassion and all that kind of stuff. But it's unbelievable, Paul. Matter of fact, that some of the teachers that I play bhakti, sing bhakti with, talk about how you don't even have to know what the words are because half the time I don't. They're in Sanskrit and Pali.
Mm.
But inevitably, those words have been chanted for so many thousands of years around fires and at, gatherings that they will crack open your heart.
Yeah. It's the same with like a Catholic liturgy or something like that, where people are in mass and singing like prayers. It's the same thing where it has power, and like what you said, words have powers.
Yeah,
So it's
yeah,
crazy stuff. Yeah.
absolutely, absolutely. So, I don't know if your dad talked about this on the podcast. I kind of forget right now whether or not he mentioned seeing a shaman. Is that
Yeah.
I know he does, but is that something that you've also started to do?
Yeah, no, I see her as well. She's also, I think, oh gosh, wait, when did I start? I think I saw her when I was like started seeing her when I was like 12, 13, something like that. And it definitely is nice. I do a lot of like tarot reading, and I find as well, and like what my dad said, her thing is like talking to people who've passed away. So I find, especially with relatives that I never met, it brings that sense of closure that's really nice. And especially like, and that people that I knew that have passed is also, that's really nice as well. So it's kind of a win-win because I get to work on myself as well as do some cool stuff along the way. So
Yeah,
I can't
100%.
complain. Yeah, and she's awesome.
100%. Has working with the shaman, because we were talking off air
Mm,
about the fear of death as you see as like a major problem also with people, right?
yeah, yeah.
Tell me about that.
Yeah, so I think I wanna say that when you've been through a lot of stuff, you're I don't like I don't wanna say death becomes normalized, but you become the stigma of it gets much less stigmatized. And I think you're very slowly starting to see a shift toward death being a normal factor of life and not this boogeyman that people should be afraid of, because it happens to everybody, right? It's the cycle of life. It's the Ouroboros, right? It keeps eating itself and you rinse and repeat the process over and over again. So I think um that's my general take on it, is that it's just part of the process of living is dying as well. Yin and yang, right?
100%. Ram Dass, one of my favorite teachers in the whole bhakti yoga world, he said, and he wrote a book, that death is like the most important ceremony that we go through in life.
Yeah.
And he goes, it's about similar to taking off a pair of uncomfortable shoes.
Yeah.
So I always thought that was cool. And one of his books is called We're All Just Walking Each Other Home. So yeah, there's but in this culture in America, we've like hidden it away to such an extent that there's this fear because it's like unknown. But when you go to India, they still have like burning pyres and they have like ceremonies where they're putting people in these fires and everyone's around watching this all go on. It's like wild.
Yeah, I mean, I've also seen, like, I don't know if you've seen, like, those eco-friendly, like, like, pods or whatever where, like, dead people go, like, inside the pods and then, like, a tree grows or something like that. Like, that's cool. Or, like, I've seen, like, one where your ashes get, like, turned into, like, a reef or something like that, and you can, like, be put in the ocean. Like, that's cool. Like, that's really cool.
That's totally cool.
Yeah,
You know, Einstein told us never disappears. We're just moving into another phase.
exactly.
I want to do a mushroom suit, 100%.
Mm,
Yeah, they definitely have that now. Mycelium, you just get wrapped in a mycelium suit, and you just become a bunch of cool mushrooms.
that was cool. Go back to the earth, right?
Yeah, 100%. So, what's going on with you right now? What are you up to, in this very moment?
In this very well, I'm here with you,
You're
obviously, but
yes,
yeah,
you are.
but so I'm writing my music. I'm doing commission painting. So I'm painting these models for money. I'm working with someone right now. I'm painting a full. They're called Deathcore of Krieg, which they're very much inspired off of like French and German, like World War One looking guys, is for Warhammer 40K, and that's been cool. It's a lot. It's a lot of models because he wants them as a horde army. So, oh gosh, I painted 40 of like the basic Kriegsmen, and it's like, oh my god, because it's a lot. But it's fun to do and I get paid for it, so I can't really complain in the end. I also play Magic the Gathering if you're at all familiar.
No, tell us what's
It's
that?
think kind of like Pokemon sort of, where it's a collectible card game. And there's the collector aspect, and then there's also the playing aspect. So I go to a couple different stores around the state to play, and that's fun because I get to play with some really cool people, and yeah.
Nice.
Yeah,
So, you made a paying gig out of a cool hobby, right?
yeah, exactly.
How long does it take to paint one of these people?
It totally depends on the size of the model and I guess how many details are on the model. So for something like this, I'd say about maybe a half hour to an hour. It's not super long. And there are definitely paints to make it easier. So like with these guys, I used contrast paints, which are liquid based paints. Um and you just put it over the model and it looks killer. And it gets the job done really easily. So I think with that Space Marine I did something called, so I primed it black and then I did a method called slap chopping, which is dry brushing a white over it to give it some depth. And then I used a purple, I used a bright green, and then I used a red for the center, and then a chrome for
And
the
you're talking about
weapons.
this guy?
Yeah, that guy, yeah.
This one. Alright. This is the Space Marine.
Yeah, the Space Marine, yeah.
So there's all kinds of different colors in here to help it sort of pop and to have the colors resonate.
Exactly, yeah, and I painted it like the podcast logo. So you
Nice.
have the purple, you have the green as the trim, and then you have the red for the heart that's up there.
Woohoo! That's awesome. When you're on commission to do these things, are you being told, like, what color palette to use?
Yeah, so I've the person I'm working with usually gives me a general gist of what they want. So thankfully, this dude's making my life really easy. And it's like, I just want the box art. So I'm like, okay, cool, I'll do the box art, and I just follow the art on the box. And I mean, before I get usually with schemes, I'm like, I have a general idea, but I usually get a second opinion from the ice because I still go back to that Warhammer store and I know the manager on a first name basis. So I'm like, hey, can you like how do you do this? Like what colors would you recommend? And he's like, oh, I would use this, and this. And I'm like, okay, cool. And then I pick up the paints and then I do it and there you go.
That's sweet.
Yeah.
So, do you have a web page for this yet?
Not yet, no. I'm starting small and just and seeing where it goes from there. Um And I think once I get this army done for this guy, I he has a lot more lined up for me, so I'm gonna wait and see where the wind takes me and, take it from there.
Alright, so I guess for right now, what I'll say is if people wanna commission you to do this artwork, they should like and subscribe
Yeah,
to the
absolutely,
Elven
like, it's
Star
so
podcast, and then comment, "I need to speak to Evan."
Yeah, or you can follow my Instagram
Tell
'cause,
us what that is.
my Instagram is I think if you just put, like, Evan and then ST period AMAND, it'll pop up. Um I'll post a lot of my music on there. So if you wanna see my music, then feel free to follow my Insta. I don't have a lot of other social media than that. I have an Instagram and then I have a Twitter that I don't use.
Okay, okay. Alright, so, I want you to leave us with any advice or wisdom that you'd like to leave to anybody on Earth or elsewhere in the universe?
Oh gosh. Okay. I say life goes by really, 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 really quick, and cherish every single moment that you have with your loved ones and with the people around you. Don't burn bridges, create bridges. And especially if you're young, and I'm hoping to do this, go on as many side quests as you can and get as much dad and or uncle lore as possible. I'm still working on that, actually.
That's awesome.
Mm,
Thank you so much.
thank you, my friend.
That was a wonderful talk, and I really appreciate it and love you and really happy that you came on.
Thank you so much for having me, dude.
All right. If you enjoyed this episode, please like and subscribe and share it with your friends. We've had some amazing guests, and we're going to keep bringing community building people to our show.
Brought to you by Ghost the Dog Productions. Barking from the rooftops, baby. Ooh.
The Elven Star Podcast is underwritten by Ferry Law.